Soares. Wilco makes a run ahead of him. Bergkamp suddenly changed pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp! That's magnificent! The move, and then this, which left Davi's ass totally stranded.
Hello, welcome to Bergkamp Wonderland, the podcast where I was asleep in bed half an hour ago. These 2 o'clock kickoffs, Deac, they are absolutely killing me. And next weekend it's Chelsea at midday, but I think I'm going. The boo-boo's coming home, and so I don't think I'll be doing a show, a post-game show, and so no post-game means no preview show, because fuck knows no one else is going to do it. Right, as you can hear and see people with this afternoon is Mr. Deac. How you doing, Treacle?
Doing all right, mate. Doing all right. I think just next week, enjoy your weekend when Sean comes back. I think just enjoy it. Try not to worry about all those material things like the football and all that malarkey. Just worry about what really matters. And that's...
In all of her 24 years, I've never been to. I've been to one fireworks night with her because it's not this time of year is not conducive to the wiggly chair that I'm in now with the electric one.
Oh right, okay.
Off road. Let's go off road.
Can you get like off road tires on that thing?
You can do, but this one really doesn't do it. It's only rear wheel drive. But yes, I'm going to come home. We can go out on Friday, on the Saturday for fireworks night, and on the Sunday I'm free all day, so I might go out again.
I like it
because the Arsenal are probably going to let us down. Chelsea is shit. We're fantastic, and that means they're going to smash us 9-0. Aubameyang getting all 9 goals.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like how you kind of flip that on its head. I like it. Flip, reverse it, styling. I like it.
In the chat, we've got David, Mr. Waffles. How are you doing, Mr. Hertz? I thought aren't you at the Grand Prix today? It's in your beloved Mexico. And it's not in Guatemala. Probably that's why he's not there. Avon, Mike is Mexican, but he pretends to be Guatemalan just for passport reasons. Avon Teddington is there. Oi, oi, more
I need
oi.
some context on that one.
Digi Scott. All hail the almighty algorithm. Did the algorithm entice you to come and join us for a bit of a chit chat? May depend on how Saka is. Yes, Mike does the Gooners podcast with American Mike, and he's Mexican, and he lives in LA-ish, somewhere like that. I don't know. And he lived in Guatemala for a while. So me and him, we both support Guatemala, the national football team. So he picks whichever one suits him, or American. I mean, he's really American. He's born in America, but you know, he can 3 passports. He can do whatever shenanigans you want with that lot.
He's got a Guatemalan passport.
I don't know. I've never asked him. I just assume that you can have as many as you want. Maybe he made it himself. We're not here to talk passports. We're here to talk about the Arsenal 5, the Nottingham Forest 0. Let's have a look at the lineups because Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu played left back, Ben White right back, Gabriel and Saliba in the middle at centre backs, Xhaka and Odegaard in the ahead of Partey. And then Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left, and Jesus up front. Were you happy with that starting lineup?
Nothing really to talk about. It's pretty much standard stuff. I am intrigued, however, to see that Tomiyasu kept his place. And he didn't put a foot wrong today. He did the business. I kind of felt like this was a Tierney game. I feel like Tomiyasu, as I said to you last time, he's introduced into the games to stop the danger man that's on the wing. And he did that with Rodrigo in the Leeds game and Salah with the Liverpool game, which Leeds beat Liverpool 2-1 at Shitfield. So that's all good stuff. Quality stuff where Rodrigo scored within the first 4 minutes. Tomiyasu had him in his real
kid. He looked lively against us.
Exactly. So, but you know, I thought it was a tinny game, but Tomiyasu had a great game today. Other than that, not much in the world of change. I'm still flabbergasted that Ben White is. There's no talks about him being in the England squad. I think that's absolutely shambles. I think it even makes sense in the prospect of having Ben White out on the right with Saka, because you've got that Arsenal unity down the right-hand side for Gareth Southgate for the World Cup. It's quite rare to get that balance of unity in an international side from a club team's perspective. So even if for just that alone, I feel like that's a warrant. But there we go. I digress. But other than that, I thought it was standard pickings. Not really much to talk about, other than the fact that we scored 5 goals, which was fantastic. And I even feel like that we should have been 9, 10, 11.
Well, yeah, but do we? I mean, I'd be quite happy if none of our players went to the World Cup, because after the World Cup, if you get to the latter stage, if you get to like the semi-final, quarter-final, you're only going to get a week off. I'd rather none of our players go. I don't want England to do well. I want them to get knocked out by is it Iraq or Iran or one of those?
I think it's Iran. Iran. I don't know. It's being played in a country where they don't like anyone. So
No,
I don't know.
Don't
Who
come
knows
there
anymore?
and do anything.
Yeah.
We will chop you up and put you in some soup. So yeah, we've got a few people watching on the Twitch. Hello to
Hello, everybody from Twitch. What's going on?
Pirate and Witty Remark 99. Hello to you. It's nice to have people on Twitch. If you want to double dip and watch on Twitch and YouTube and StatPad, that would be an absolute delight.
I know people do that.
Yes, that would be nice. So yeah, then the game gets going, and I'm thinking before the game, I don't know if anybody remembers. Oh, Deac is on there as well, and Steph's got Twitch. You get yourself on Twitch. Steph breaks some records, and then there's Deac there. That's his own Twitch account. Yeah, and I suggested in the preview show that it's going to be 5-0. It's the first time in 52 years I got a prediction right. And I should have been completely wrong, shouldn't I? Looking at the whole game overall before we go into any kind of detail, we should have won that by 8 or 9-0, shouldn't we?
Yeah, it's quite funny. I posted in my fantasy team gym chat, and I put 3-0. I thought 3-0 was going to be a shoe-in. And then somebody in the group chat said 6-0. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll fucking take that. And it got to 5-0, and I was like, I really want that 6-0. As well as with 6-0, we would have got to 20 plus on our goal difference, only 6 away from City. So that would have been a nice rounded up number, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. And Jesus is 5 games in the Premier League now without putting the ball in the back of the net. I don't even want to count how many times he's been playing in the Europa League and didn't get the ball in the back of the net. So the last team he scored against was Tottenham, and I can't even remember much of that game.
Well, I mean, if you are going to finish your goal scoring career with a goal with beating Spurs 3-1, then that's going to be fine with me. There's some more people in there. Oh, Steph uninstalled Twitch. What was that other one? The rival to Twitch. That's what Steph used to love.
There was the one that was made by
the Xbox one.
Microsoft. There was one made by Microsoft. I can't remember.
That's one he used.
D Live. There was D Live as well, which was made by cryptocurrency people.
Did that die?
That died. Well, I don't even know. It might still be alive. I don't know. I've never clicked on. Do you know what? I'm intrigued because I remember when I first went on there, the main developer. Yeah, it's still going. It's got, to be fair, it's got like decent viewership. Like it's got like it's all slots by the looks of things. Like 14,000 people are watching slots. Anyway. It's getting, but the dev of the entire platform messaged me and was like wanting me to come over when I was at the height of my Twitch career. But there we go.
They messaged ABW Twitch did and said, "Oh, we'll pay you £250 a month if you come and do all of your stuff only on Twitch for a year." I said, "We get 3 people watching on Twitch. We get 50 or 60 watching on YouTube. Can't do it."
Yeah.
They wanted us to come and do only that. Not a chance.
Yeah. Twitch are quite
scumbags.
Quite shit like that.
Anyway, Avon is there and says some guy got 33-1 at 5-0 with Nelly being the first goal scorer.
He got like $4,500 or something like that.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Paul says top of the league. We've got Michael says clinical performance. It was indeed Michael, Crimson Pirate. Jesus made it a few more. Rudy is there. Good evening. Loki says twatch.
Good evening. There you go. Villa.
Rudy's in love with the Arsenal. Luxembourg is back on Twitch. What? It's not someone I've heard before. Hello. We all like Luxembourg. In my opinion, Harry Maguire should have been made man of the match today. What do you think? I was asleep. I woke up at 2 to watch the game, and then I went back to sleep. Got up for a wee, and then I went back to sleep after the game until 8 o'clock nearly. That was my day. I've not even had a banana tweet today. Whitty says 5 clean sheets in 12 games. Melvin Marks is there, fellow podcaster, lovely man. Hello, everyone. Once Xmas is over, Jesus will be okay again. Steph says the Arsenal women just beat, was it West Ham women they were playing 3-1? That's good. Zaid is there again. Nice to have you back, Zaid. How you been? Let's start off with the early parts. First of all, there is a world record in top flight English football of 9 consecutive home top league wins. We equaled it. And do you know who had the record before that we've equaled?
Is it someone you wouldn't expect or someone you wouldn't expect?
It is.
You wouldn't expect?
No.
Oh, you wouldn't expect? United.
No, I think they said it was Preston from the very first season when Preston won every game that season.
So that's not expected then.
Did I say expected?
Yeah, you said it. I said, was it expected or not?
See, I'm keeping one of my paws warm next to the heater.
Fair enough.
And I'm also reading people's comments.
That's fine. I wouldn't have got that regardless, so it doesn't matter.
No,
That's interesting. Yeah. Preston North End, the arch rivals of Blackpool. And the only reason I know that is because the Blackpool fans have created a chant with Charlie Patino involved that has something to do with Preston North End. And that's the only reason I know. That's that.
Luxembourg on Twitch says, what do you think about Benfica? I think they're a very nice side. I think we lent them Glenn Helder, and it didn't really sort his career out. And other than that, I don't really have many thoughts about Benfica, apart from I wouldn't mind being there right now because it's probably not 11 degrees outside. And Eloki says, yes, it was West Ham. Stefan says, women just broke the WSL record, 13 wins in a row. Now that is good. Crimson on Twitch says, good to see Pablo Mari is okay and a little celebration for him. That was nice. Did anybody get booked for that? Because you know the way the FA work.
I don't think anybody got booked for that because they did a pre-photo, which was quite a nice little photo. Everyone in their training kits, and then they did it after Martinelli scored his first goal, which was a nice little touch. But no, I don't think anybody got booked.
No, game.
Quite unusual to hear something like that with regards to Pablo Mari. Obviously, we hope he's all right and everything like that. But I hope he stays in.
Good. Right, do you want to talk us through the first goal?
Yeah. So I've got I've watched it and everything. I can vaguely remember. There's a passage of play down the left-hand side here. Xhaka gets taken down. No foul given. Tomiyasu, as we've spoken today, I felt like Tierney was definitely a shoe-in for this particular game, but Tomiyasu had a brilliant game today. Intercepted the ball, then plays it into Martinelli, who does a beautiful sweeping pass out to Saka, who's on the edge of the box, who pings the ball. He doesn't really move. He just stays stationary, controls the ball, and then pings the ball back in with his left foot. And Martinelli, fantastic football from him, getting his head ahead of the defender and just rifling into the back of the net. Definitely a goal that you don't see scored by many people, but Martinelli, who's got that tenacity to be able to want it more than anyone else and getting it into the back of the net. So fantastic opening goal to start the game, and the last game as well at the Emirates until next. After the World Cup and everything like that. So it's nice to see the Arsenal players giving the Arsenal fans the last game before the World Cup at home a fantastic sending off with a brilliant opening goal from Martinelli. So there we go. Beautiful stuff. What did you think of it?
Well, before anybody shouts that he meant Premier League, because we do know we've got Zurich midweek and we've got Brighton in the League Cup. Before anyone says,
Prem. No one's going to be there for these Europa League games. No one's going to be there.
No one cares about the ropey-dopey league games. No,
that's it. Ropey-dopey.
I thought it's brilliant. It's nice to see Saka getting yet another assist. The boy, did he go down? Yeah, did get an official assist for that.
Yeah. And, beautiful assist.
Then I expected the floodgates to open and us to go, well, there you go. I'd visualized, as I was going to sleep last night, I visualized us scoring 10 goals, beating the record of 9-0. And some of the goals, the Partey one, I did predict from miles out. I did have us down for a couple of penalties. We nearly had a couple of penalties during the game. But then I thought, that's it. They're a very, very poor team. And they've got some decent players, but they're very unorganised. No, that's not fair. They don't have any history of playing together. They're still a team that is getting used together. 6 of their promotion side, their main 11, didn't get to play, didn't stay at the club. Like people like Jed Spence and others left the club, and they brought in 23 players plus another 3 players on loan. And that is going to take more than 12 games in one of the toughest leagues in the world to try and get something And it's amazing that they managed to beat the bin dippers last week, but they were never going to come here and get a result against the Arsenal. And I just thought it was going to, here we go, it's going to be 6-0 at half time, going to end up scoring 7 or 8 goals, and that's the way I wanted it. But didn't turn out that way, did it? And then the next thing that happened wasn't a goal, was it? And I didn't realise how Saka got himself injured until you shared that video with me. So tell the boys and girls.
So there's a passage of play which I was talking about to you. Partey puts a beautiful ball over the top to Xhaka, who controls it on his chest and plays the ball beautifully into Martinelli, who has a sort of a last-ditch challenge made not off the line, but a couple of meters off the line. And it goes to Odegaard, who rebounds off his head. And then Saka kind of takes like a left-footed shot. Obviously, he's got a left peg. Left-footed shot. I feel like he stretched his foot and stretched his leg at taking the shot and maybe overstretched. Instantly after that shot, you can watch it on Sky Sports, guys. Instantly after taking that shot, he instantly starts hobbling. Now, you're saying about the game, the fact that we were thinking it was going to be 6-0 at half time. Obviously, Saka coming off after 25 minutes is a massive blow for us and everything like that. With everything that went in hindsight, with everything in regards to hindsight, you know, it's fine, because I'm hoping that he's going to be okay for the Chelsea game. That's more important than what's happened today. But it definitely killed the game. That's for sure. And it took us the second half to be able to get the remainder of the other 4 goals. But it was definitely from that moment. A lot of commentary were talking about the fact that it was maybe a challenge, or there was a stretch shot later after. Maybe it exacerbated things, but he's hobbling after that first shot. I feel like he's pulled something with regard to that shot quite early on after the first goal. But who knows? But I feel like Saka coming off for Nelson, who we'll talk about in a minute, I feel like that kind of took the energy out of Arsenal, or took the wind out of ourselves, that's for sure.
It is always bad when you see one of your teammates go, but he tried to carry on as long as he could, and you could see he wasn't able to run it off. A few comments in the chat. I want to come to the Luxembourg is back on Twitch. He's a Benfica fan, blown away this year with 17 wins and 3 draws and not lost. By the way, my Portuguese team is Penafiel. They are currently probably in the Portuguese 2nd division, but I got them. I won't explain how I got them, but I got them in 1987, and I've been a fan of them ever since. Thunder is saying my yell at Sky tendencies. Yes, if I'm not shouting at the WhatsApp group, I'm shouting. I'm howling into the moon. Waffle says Martinelli looks like the complete package. He is. BX asks about Marquinhos. No, I think he's back in training now.
He's
Crimson Pirate asks about Carl Jenkinson. No, Forest let him go on loan to Melbourne City last season.
He's in Australia.
Yeah.
He's in Australia right now, right? There was a viral video of his old man turning up off the cuff without even telling him, and just turning up. And do you know what he was wearing? Arsenal shirt.
He's wearing Jenkinson's bed sheets with the Arsenal logos.
Probably.
But he left Melbourne City and went to another Australian side.
Melbourne City? That's the team that's connected to Man City.
Man City, yeah. So I don't think they won the league. I don't know. I can't remember. Where else are we down to? You're all having a nice old chit chat there. Arteta said Saka suffered from a knock. Yeah.
He'll be fine. I really think he'll be okay for the Chelsea game. That's the only thing that I'm worried about.
Yes, and then so the first goal was on 5 minutes. Second goal, the second major thing in the game was 27 minutes for Saka, and then he went off injured, and then Reece Nelson come on. I've been saying for a long time that Reece Nelson, hello Tom, that if that Nielsen, the people forget that the Hale boys isn't just Eddie and ESR and Saka. There is a few before those, only a couple of years. You've got Reece Nelson, and you've got he's gone to loan Southampton. Why can't I remember his name?
Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
Huh?
Where's Maitland-Niles?
That's it. That's what I'm on about. That's the one I'm on about. He's on loan at Southampton.
I said Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and you went what? And I went, oh, maybe it's not him then. I'm pretty sure it's him. To be fair, I haven't seen him feature for Southampton. Is he even featured?
I don't know. I'm pressing buttons and I'm reading stuff and I'm trying to dig out, and I've not had anything.
It's not important. It's not important. It's really not that important.
And so those two were in the couple of years before those. And I've said for ages, that Reece Nelson is a really decent player. Now, I don't think he's going to be the player that you're going to bring on for any Premier League game. He's going to come on and score you 2 goals. But he is a player who's more than decent enough for the Europa League early stages, the League Cup, the FA Cup, and against half the Premier League, he'll be good. But my God, Dick, what a performance from that lad! He came on in the 27th minute, and then 4 minutes after half time. Tell us about that goal, because that was a doozy, wasn't it?
I want to talk about something just a little bit before that. Sorry to take the wind out of the sails there. I want to talk about a bit of a defensive boo-boo where Ben White had to kind of put his whole body on the line for Gabriel.
What was he thinking?
Absolutely shambles moment there.
I told you he's thick. He's got he acts like someone who is a bit thick, and he does things about things.
It blows my mind when you see sort of like Jekyll and Hyde performances from Gabriel. Kind of weirds me out. The guy is a phenomenal centre-back, and he's got this partnership with Saliba, which is really blossoming, and I'm hoping to see more of it this season. But Ben White, for me, I think is the unsung hero of this Arsenal defence. A lot of the times when it comes to strikers, the more you talk about him, the better he is. With regards to defenders, the less you talk about him, the better he is. I feel anyway, because here we are talking about Gabriel with another misplaced pass here. Forest have a ball put through, it is what it is. This is early second half. And Saliba does fantastically to step in front of the Forest number 9, who I feel is like Lukaku in his worst day. And Gabriel has the ball, calmly slots it in front of Xhaka and Tomiyasu, but in between them both. And it's put through to none other than Jesse Lingard, the best player to ever live of ever. We all know about his talents. The funny thing is, obviously, he played for West Ham last season. And
2 seasons ago.
Was it 2 seasons ago?
Yeah.
I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was brilliant. I don't know why he didn't just stay there at West Ham. I thought he was brilliant. He could rejuvenate his England career. Who the fuck knows? Exactly.
Forest offered him 200 grand a week.
Liverpool, well, there you go. And this is what you get for 200 grand a week. So he takes a snapshot, doesn't really look, and Ben White has already thrown himself into the air and stops the block, and then Partey gets in front and then manages to clear it and everything like that. Exactly. Well said. Ben White doing his business, getting it done, goes under the radar. Completely agree. As I said to you, the fact that he's not even sniffed around the England team blows my mind. I think I'm falling in love with Ben White week in, week out. The guy's phenomenal. But once again, Gabriel, agreed. But once again, Gabriel, we're seeing moments of just this infragility. I don't even know what is going on with him. I don't know. But I just wanted to talk about that passage of play before we talk about.
Good. We've got some breaking news from Conan the Barbarian on YouTube. You must crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women. You can't laminate.
Is this a direct
women.
Quote? You can't. You could.
Don't laminate women. They don't like it, and you have to try to squeeze them through that.
Women don't like to be objects, and you laminate objects.
No. You can, but if you do laminate your women, at least you can draw on them.
But if you laminate them, then they've got like a longevity.
Yes, might stop them getting all wrinkled and miserable.
That's true. You keep the value. Keep the value for when you sell it.
Laminate them and put them on a shelf. Have hundreds of them.
Why not?
I said to Sean's mum the other day. I went. She asked me. Oh no, it was Anna. She came round. I said, "She said, you're right." I said, "Do you want the hose?" And she went, "Rub the oil or you'll get the hose." Oh dear. So nice to have you there, Conan. Good luck with your slaughtering and murdering of the innocent, and carry on.
Fantastic film. It's got Arnie in it. You can't go wrong with that, can you?
Mr. Boblex is there also on the Twitch, which is lovely. Thunder says reads like a palms psalm. What about
Psalm is it's a churchy thing. It's a book of Psalms.
Ah, yes. I did go to church twice a week, every week until the age of 14. And then my mum said, "Do you want to go anymore?" I said, "Fuck no." so I stopped going. Gabriel is good when he is no nonsense. He should focus on that. Thinking isn't his strong point. So we'll move on.
He's like the Theo Walcott of centre backs. You just don't give him any time to think. Otherwise, it all goes pear shaped. He's not a ball playing defender. He's a no nonsense defender. That's what it is on Football Manager.
He's the Martin Keown. He's the reinvention of Martin Keown. So exactly right. We did the first Nelson.
Yeah,
we were talking about that. Was that when the ball came out and then he think he had a shot with his right foot, ball came back out, and he spanked it with his left foot, and then another goal from 3 minutes later. I mean, Gabriel Jesus two assists today. So that's not too bad. But then
it's not bad. I still want him to score. I've got the passage of play for the first Nelson goal if you want me to highlight a couple of key moments in it.
Do it. Yeah.
So I've got Partey here, quite deep in his own half. Plays once again another fantastically underrated ball through 3 Forest players to Xhaka, of course, the furthest forward striker that we have in the football club, who I thought was on his left peg. I thought he was going to hit it. But he ends up very selfishly cutting it back to Gabriel Jesus, who lays it off quite nicely to Reiss Nelson, who dummies it nicely, puts it onto his left, which is his weak foot. Henderson makes a fantastic save. Luckily, it comes out to Reiss Nelson on his strong foot and then rifles it into the top of the net over to very unhappy Forest players who were on the line ready for that moment. But Reiss Nelson was clever enough to know to put it into the roof of the net. So do you know what? When Saka came off on the 25th minute, I was a little bit skeptical about the Reiss Nelson coming on. I'm his fan to a certain degree. I remember watching videos of him when he first joined the Arsenal. He had some fantastic, as what the kids call it, techers. But he doesn't really bring that to the game when it comes to actual football playing for Arsenal. He doesn't have any of that. He kind of keeps things quite simple. And I don't know whether that is to his hindrance or whatever. But obviously today we didn't expect him to get 2 goals and 1 assist. That's for sure. I feel like the game died after Saka coming off 27th minute, as you said. But we started the second half quite nicely, apart from the Gabriel moment was at the start of the first half. But here we are, Reiss Nelson rifling it into the top of the net to make it 2-0. And Xhaka was already celebrating before the ball even left Nelson's feet. By the looks of things, it's hilarious stuff. But there we are.
It's just amazing. It shows what unity that team have got for someone to come in who has been on the fringes in and out. It was quite a big part of our Europa League run from 2 seasons ago. And then he was... he started the first game of last season, which I'd forgotten about, that 3-0 loss at... Was it 3-0 loss at Brentford? I never remember.
Yeah.
And Tyke, isn't Barnsley called the Tyke? So you're a Barnsley fan. I quite like Barnsley. He says, or he or they, because they're all blurred out, pretty sure it was 3 assists, 2 for Nelson and 1 for Odegaard. What, overall, or... No, it says
Nelson got 2. We're talking about today's game. Nelson got 2 goals, 1 assist. Odegaard got a goal. I don't know if he got an assist or anything.
No, I didn't. The assists were Saka, Jesus, Nelson, and Jesus again. And Nelson's assist would have come from the goalkeeper because he kicked it back at him. You've got an admirer in Phil Macker. Deacon is such a pro, but don't.
Phil's a nice guy. He followed me on Twitter. I don't know why, but he followed me on Twitter. So here we are.
He is at
his own peril.
He's a cheeky sausage. He does love an emoji. Bob Lex says everyone is talking about Gabriel being bad this season. Well, I'm not sure whether they're just saying
didn't say that.
Mistakes. But it's just luckily that the mistakes are coming when it doesn't really matter. Do you reckon it's because he's got a baby and because we all know what it's all. Some of us know what it's like when you've got a baby. They don't shut up.
Do you know what? It blows my mind. I talk about this. I've spoken about this quite a lot when it comes to just mental health. Obviously, I'm a big mental health advocate and everything. When it comes to football players and stuff, I feel like people don't realise that they're human beings as well as football players. They're going to live and do normal things as well, like us. And the fact that Jesus and has got a newborn kid. Maybe that's the reason why he hasn't scored and he's lagging. He's lagging a little bit and he's still trying to catch up
for a rest.
Maybe, who knows? This is it. And fantastically said as well for in regards to Gabriel. Maybe this is the reason why they're lagging a little bit and they need a little bit of time. But we're still doing fantastically as a squad. We're all pulling each other up from each other's bootstraps and we're getting the job done. But some great points, and you're probably correct. Who knows? We're never going to know apart from Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel himself. So,
but like I've said for years, any Premier League side would kill for one of Saka or Martinelli. I'm beginning to think any Premier League side would kill for one of Tomiyasu, Ben White, Saliba, or Gabriel. We are.
Agreed.
I won't say blessed,
brilliant all the way through.
Any kind of religion. We are lucky.
We're fantastic.
Luck.
We're fantastic at the moment.
Arteta and Edu and Vinay and Josh and the solicitor bloke for the Nick from America.
Garlic.
That's it. I've got it blocked out because I hate
American bloke.
Everything garlic, and I think he's English. Everything garlic and onion. I've had to psychologically have hypnotherapy.
Garlic Farm on the Isle of Wight, by the way. If you're a big fan of garlic, like I am, Garlic Farm on the Isle of Wight is stunning.
I hate it so much. Is 3 things I can't stand the smell of: smoking, garlic, and dog poo.
I tell you what, if I smell garlic, I go.
Well,
you're a vampire, clearly.
Yeah. I've not seen the sunlight for much. Oh, Tim Nice, but American. Oh, he is American, is he? I thought we just stole him from somewhere America. I prefer mushrooms. Well, there's nothing wrong
I like
with
mushrooms. Got that umami flavour. Very nice.
I have. I've added mushrooms to my Chinese meal. Chicken chow mein, no onions. I've got them to start putting mushrooms in there as well. And Anna said that's quite a good move.
Yeah.
There you go. Lovely. Yes. Oh, nom nom. Right. So that was the first goal.
Do you want me to talk about the next one?
I'm not sure what happened with the second one. Because
I can talk about
his second goal. Go on then.
Yeah, I can talk about it. So we got a passage of play here, just from the Sky Sports highlights. We've got Martinelli on the ball. He's overlapping run from Xhaka from behind. Martinelli cuts in back on his right foot, puts a beautiful ball over the top, and Gabriel Jesus obviously takes it on the foot beautifully. Does a couple of step overs, plays it into Odegaard, who does the overlap. Tries to put the ball in. Is unfortunately not able to do it. And gives it to Gabriel Jesus, who puts it into the danger zone. And there's Reiss Nelson, who once again has got that want more than anyone else on the pitch to put it into the back of the net. So 2 goals for him in quick succession, and definitely I feel maybe caught us all by surprise. Arsenal fans and non-Arsenal fans. I think the world of football was taken by surprise to see Reiss Nelson, double his effort within quick succession of the.
People already looked at him and went, "What does he do? We don't know who he is. He wasn't down on our sheet of people to keep an eye on. So, is he a goalkeeper?
Who knows? It was a ploy all along."
Yeah, and it worked wonderfully. So that's really, really good for him to come on like that and score 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes, and then he assisted the next goal. This next goal was an official thunder bastard, wasn't it? It was stunning.
Yeah, it's a beautiful passage of play. Once again, Reiss Nelson's got that. He's glowing with confidence here. Odegaard's right next to him, offering himself out for a pass. Quite funny enough, actually, the moment the ball is being played, Partey's nowhere near the screen. And all of a sudden, Partey makes his way into the area. Another beautifully laid off ball. It must be training week in, week out to do this for him every single time. And it's a carbon copy of the goals that he has scored. I'm not bored of it. I want to see more of it. I don't give a shit. Copy and paste that shit week in, week out. And here we are, a lovely weighted pass from Nelson, using the pass, using the direction of the ball. Partey just, lifts it into the top of the bins with a rifled right foot shot on the side of his foot. Fantastic stuff. I don't get bored of seeing those Partey goals. Don't get bored of them.
Rudy says Xhaka and Partey have been the best midfield partnership in the Premier League this season so far, as a fact. Yeah, I can't really argue with that, Mr. Bob.
We're top of the league. We're top of the league.
We are by 2 points. I've noticed that Nelson was in half space, not on the touchline like Saka.
Well, he didn't want to play. Obviously, Saka's used as an inverted wing back, as inverted winger or an inverted forward. Nelson doesn't have that because he's playing on the right with the right foot. So he was playing in a half space. He was very much just kind of matching Odegaard in the middle of the park. He got himself the assist.
Noser has come up with a wonderful stat. Nelson scored more goals than Messi in the Premier League. Fact and evening, folks, which is nice. I think, as Nick put, a sensible question. Bearing in mind all the time, plan B. Okay, all right, let's save that for a question for later. We've got an FM Lower 1986. FM Lover 1986. Nelson.
That was the year I was born, and I'm an FM lover.
I was, but I spend too much of my life playing it.
Speaking of FM, you know how you're saying about Nottingham Forest have signed like 23 players and 3 on loan and whatnot, and they've Jesus Christ, the plethora of players that they've got running through that squad is crazy. I'm hearing so many names from the past, as well as names like Lodi, Willian, Jesse Lingard. What's the right back that played for Spurs who was an Arsenal fan from France? There we go. I'm like, Jesus. Oh, there he is. He still plays football, does he? Oh, okay, cool. If you played that team on Football Manager, or just had a team where you brought in 23 players, you would need the entire season. You get relegated because you need the entire season to get those players cohesive and playing as a unit. I don't understand the why he's done what he's done. I don't get it. But I digress.
I love Football Manager so much that when I had my Amiga in 1992, my first girlfriend used to stay over, Cindy. She was lovely. And I would wait till she fell asleep, and then I would get up in the middle of the night and go and play. Turn the Amiga on, and I'd play Championship Manager, which is what it was before that. I would play that until the wee small hours. And
good times, man. Simpler times are better times, eh?
On Football Manager 2010, there was a patch so you could go down to level 15 of English football. I took my local team, Manchester Rovers, from tier 12 to the Premier League in 10 seasons without buying a single player.
You've shown me this. Have you shown me this?
I'm
so sure you've shown me this.
I think you were doing a stream at the time, and I just sent you it. But
that was it.
And I had one player stay with me all the way through, and that was
it. And his average ratings got really bad towards the end. It was like 5.4 point.
I lived on platinum regens coming through and free transfers and loans to the Premier League, and then I went and joined Arsenal, and then Arsenal sacked me. So that's the last time I played it.
That's what happens.
Orange has said Nelson has same goal contribution as 75 million. Jadon Sancho. Phil says that's a great stat. Knows makes more sense than most of the Sky stats. I watched the Copa Libertadores last night, and it was Flamengo v I think Atletico Paranaense, and Nigel Reo-Coker on there. My God, the bloke talks like he has just had a spank to the head and has only just started to learn English again. It was absolutely horrendous. He can't speak. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He was saying things that didn't make sense. I did tweet what it was, but I can't remember what it was. It was I think he tried to be clever and said something clever, and then he said it completely wrong. So it was just ridiculous. So Phil says Fulham bought 1 million players and went down. QPR did it as well. And Barry Fry, when he was at Birmingham, it was like a bring and buy sale for Blue Peter. Avon says Doherty was an Arsenal fan as well. They made him delete his Twitter account when he joined Spurs. Yeah, and then that all went around. Someone found it and was tweeting it. So wait. They made him delete his Twitter account? I think they made him delete the tweet.
That's so petty. It's so. I saw the promotion video of him signing. Was that a real thing? So he made him delete that. That's so pathetic.
That's that club for you.
Jesus Christ.
Sums those losers up. And they managed to get another fluky win, didn't they? Another last minute goal.
92nd minute.
I've not even watched it. I can't bear it.
I don't fucking watch that garbage. Yes. I don't want to watch cock and balls. But.
What are we up to now? We've just
seen the Partey goal. Fantastic stuff from him.
4 subs.
Common practice for him now.
That was a bit weird, wasn't it? When we bring on Soares for Tomiyasu, that makes sense. Covering to goes right back. Martinelli for Fabio Vieira. Well, Fabio, we've seen that he playing on the right against PSV. Didn't work. But then the next lot of substitutes was Xhaka off for Eddie. You're thinking, hold on, we're playing 2 up front, but then Eddie kind of went wide left, and then Saliba off and Tierney on. So then Soares moved from the right over to the left, and Tierney from the left to the right, and then that's where Tierney played on the left. It was lovely seeing both our Portuguese men of war waiting to come. We've got he's from Luxembourg, not Portugal, but seeing both of our Portuguese players waiting to come on, I thought, that's a nice thing. Some 12-year-old Portuguese kid who's now an Arsenal fan has probably had that printed up and stuck all over their walls in the kind of way that Corporal Jenkinson would have done back in the day. But lots of substitutions and
lots of changes.
So between that goal was that goal was 57. Between the 57th and the 78th when Odegaard scored, I counted 132 times that Jesus should have scored a goal. So wasteful. It's just that one that landed at the far post. All he had to do was stick a toe on it, and he still put it wide. It will come good eventually. It's just lucky for us that he is having this dry spell when it doesn't really matter about scoring goals because the whole team is scoring goals, and fuck knows Eddie's never going to score, is he?
No, he's never gonna fucking score. I'm gonna say I'm gonna take the flak. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna take the flak. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
Don't.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna
Oh,
say it.
dear.
I've got to. I feel compelled to say it. And Eddie Nketiah is not a great football player that people thought he was at the end of the last season. And I feel like I feel like maybe he should have got the contract. I don't know whether 100 grand. I don't know. I feel like if we had another striker, he wouldn't have got that contract. I feel like he say a thing. I will. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. I feel like if we had another striker, it's a bit like the Lokonga situation. If Elneny was fit, Lokonga ain't getting a fucking game this season. That's just that. But when it comes to Nketiah, I feel like he was in a very good place to be able to get himself a decent.
Every time David has been on, he said Eddie's never going to make it.
No, so it's not. This isn't I don't feel like this is even the controversial point. I feel like really fine. If I'm happy to be proven wrong, but so far I'm very much proven right. I don't feel like I feel like he leveraged obviously the strikerless situation to be able to get himself 100 grand a week, and fair play to him. Fair play to his agent to be able to utilize the situation that Arsenal were in to get that. However, I feel like the biggest travesty is not even the contract. I don't think it's that. I think it's the fact that he's wearing the number 14 shirt. I'm perplexed by it. I was frustrated by it when it was announced. I know a lot of people were saying, we've got to get behind the player. We got a lot of flack in Ian Wright's, preaching and doing all the.
A quote from Shakespeare: "Heavy is the crown," or something like that.
Yeah. It's Hamlet. Pretty sure it's Hamlet. I am perplexed that he got the number 14 shirt. I think it was just another ploy to be able to get him to sign the contract. I'm not a fan of Eddie Nketiah. He's a guy that the thing that makes me laugh about Eddie Nketiah, he's got the most goals of any England striker in the under 23s. That shouldn't be an achievement that you should be proud about. You should be scoring goal. If you're that good of a striker, you should be playing for the England first team. But he's not. He's kind of like he's like one of those. He's like many of those other football players that we see where they're not quite good enough for the Prem, but they're too good for the Championship. He's kind of like that middle ground area. Do you know what I mean? Like a lower tiered Premier League team or a top tier Championship side. Not a fan. I want him to do well.
The bloke at Fulham, the striker,
Mitrovic. Yeah. There's lots of players that we know that are that kind of that middle ground kind of player, and Eddie Nketiah is exactly that. Listen, at the end of the day, I want him to perform well and I want him to do well, but he's had umpteen opportunities now to be able to get the ball into the back of the net, especially with the Europa League games coming thick and fast this season because of the postponement from the Queen's passing. And no, don't talk to me about that. Tradition is a big thing within football. Are you trying to tell me that the number 14 shirt or numbers are just a thing? You see fucking football players hopping onto the pitch because they've all got traditions and fucking what they called again?
Superstitions.
Thank you, superstitions, where they're like hopping on one leg on the pitch, and you don't think the number on the shirt means anything? Come on, bull fucking shite. Anyway, I digress. Eddie Nketiah is not it. Hasn't been it since beginning of time. He needed 6 games last season to get warm before he had that goal scoring. Was it 6 games? Before he started getting those goals towards the end of the last season where, okay, fine, he got us out of a rut, but he should have used that to launchpad him to get himself a decent contract somewhere else. We are pushing now for not top 4 football. I don't even think top 3 football. I think we're at the moment, we have to be respectfully understood that we are the best team that are competing with the best team in the world right now, Manchester City, with Erling Haaland, clearly one of the best strikers at the moment in the world, and we are competing with them toe to toe. And we've got Eddie Nketiah as our backup striker, and our other striker hasn't scored in 5 Premier League games. Just saying.
Rudy makes a good point. As long as we're winning, I don't care who is scoring. Of course, the striker needs to score. Same goes for Jesus. A little bit of Twitch housework here because Twitch isn't linked to our StreamYard that we're using here, so I have to go and get these manually. Luxembourg is back, followed you 29 minutes ago. Thank you very much, Luxembourg. Welcome into the whatever it is we are here. And also, Crimson Pirate gifted a 1-month tier 1 sub to Deac.
Thank you very much. Oh, that's lovely of you. Thank you so much.
So
that's quality stuff. I will. I was going to say I'll gladly wear that thing right next to me with pride. Thank you so much.
Lovely. And we have now got 7 current subscribers. All of ABW, all of you scumbags have all got Amazon Prime. And can I get them to give it to us? I mean, we'd make 30 quid a month from that. I've done it already
like twice in the past few months.
They are. I mean, they're awful, awful people. Boblex says, I don't know what he does, what he doesn't do. But yes.
Probably the time thing.
Possibly. Right, end of the game. Jesus decided to give up trying to score a goal and just set one up for Odegaard. Odegaard has got the quickest and the most beautiful feet in football. That bloke is like a ballerina, 78th minute. For the life of me, I can't remember how the goal went. Hopefully, you've got some deets.
I've got some deets. Has got some deets.
Lovely.
That's the new segment right there for our new segment of for the podcast. Sorry, hold on. I've got a cat toy underneath my feet. Right, so we've got Fabio Vieira here. We've got an overlap from Tierney as a diversion. Partey receives the ball in the middle of the park, who puts in a beautiful ball to Gabriel, who's got it back to goal. Just, plays the ball in beautifully to Odegaard, who dribbles past like 4 Forest players and then rifles it into the top of the net. And you've got Gabriel Jesus doing the old stunning stuff and to finish the game off quite nicely. He just knew it was going to happen the moment. Odegaard's he's got that lovely technique, isn't he? He's got a lovely left peg and to make it 5-0 and to finish the game off. And as I said, I started the prediction with 3-0. After watching the game, I feel like we should have been 9, 10, 11-0. As you said, you think it should have been 10 plus, considering that Nottingham Forest are 26 new signings. They're rock bottom of the league. Okay, fine, they beat the dirty Scousers last week, but I feel like we should have done more.
Well, 24. Go on.
No, that was it. I was going to say we should have done more.
24 shots for us, 10 on target, 5 off target, 9 blocked by their goalkeeper, who is now going to get an MBE. A little bit more Twitch housekeeping. It's this one here is Crimson Pirate again. Gifted a 1-month tier 1 sub to Mr. Boblex.
He's a good guy, this Crimson Pirate guy. He's a good guy. Solid guy. Solid guy you are.
So we've got 2 pirates at ABW. We've got the Crimson and we've got the Barbican Pirates. So I thought
you were going to say the barbecue pirate.
Well, you never know your luck. So then that was on the 78th minute, and then Jesus just spent the next 12 minutes plus 3 minutes of injury time doing his absolute best to try and score a goal. He still got man of the match. He got a 9.1. He got 2 assists, according to who scored. Personally, I think the Nottingham Forest goalkeeper should have got man of the match because he stopped it being double figures for the first time in Premier League history. I think 5 teams have scored 9 goals, but no one has ever scored 10. This was our day to score 10 goals. Imagine if you'd have had Ian Wright or Thierry Henry or
good God, imagine.
Or Franny Jeffers playing up front today. We'd have easily got 12 goals. It would have been, they probably would have had to call it off after about 80 minutes as cruelty to football. So there you go. Any other thoughts?
Henderson made 4 saves.
It says here he also made 9 blocks. Oh no, but there was 9 blocks.
There was 9 blocks from the team, but he made 4 saves. He got 1 point for fantasy football this week. 1 point.
That's not bad for someone who's let in 5 goals.
Not bad for someone who conceded 5 goals. You're completely correct. You're completely right.
Yes. So, another new name there. I don't recognise. Dean Lake. Would you sign Mudryk from Shakhtar Donetsk for big money in January? And if so, what does it mean for ESR's future?
Nothing. Doesn't mean anything. ESR's still a guy that we want around. He's got the number 10 shirt. See, the thing is, right, I didn't bat an eyelid when ESR got the number 10 shirt. I did bat an eyelid when Nketiah got the number 14 shirt, but I didn't bat an eyelid when ESR got the number 10 shirt. I was intrigued and I was excited about the prospect of him taking that step up He should have got that surgery last season. Should have got the surgery last season after the injury. After it just didn't repair and heal as best as they thought it would. I think it should have been last season. But I'm excited. I feel like he's got a lot to offer. I feel like he's a guy that can potentially play through the middle of the park. I said last season that I wanted him to play up front at some point, playing as a false 9. I rambled about that all the time in the chat when the podcast was on. But I can't wait to see ESR to come back. Can't wait. And it's got nothing to do with the Shakhtar Donetsk winger. I think he's going to be a fantastic addition if we manage to sign him. A fantastic addition to be a rotational option for Saka, who clearly needs a break. The guy injured himself from kicking the ball. He needs a break. Give him a break.
Yes,
before it breaks.
He does need a break. Crimson Pirate, we've just given you a VIP thing. I'm still working out what things I can do with all of this lot. So we should have done it ages ago because you're always involving in the chat there. And we've got 12 people on VIPs at the moment, but one of them is my other account. Right, but if he gets injured, we need someone to come in for him. And if we're never going to rest him, then A, it's more likely. And B, it could mean that Nketiah would come in cold, says FM Lover. Possibly. Bob Lex says, we're not getting Mudryk as Shakhtar want Anthony money. Well, that dickhead. See that bullshit he was doing, spinning around in circles with the ball. I think
it's the most useless skill I've ever fucking seen.
Someone's been playing FIFA too much. That's the problem.
It's pointless. Fucking pointless. Especially when you're playing in the Prem, mate.
Mr. Waffles rejects your hypothetical situation. David is a thinker. He's actually building his second guitar at the moment from bits of wood.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what that meant, but now I do.
Yes, there you go. Mr. Ostrich. Oh, head in the sand. Lovely. Right, we've been doing 51 minutes. We've got stuff to go and do. So anything else you want to say before we've got a couple of quick questions to go through. If anyone's got a question, put a Q and then write your question in the chat. And then if I like it, I'll add it to our list. But Deac, have you got anything else you want to cover?
No, apart from I'm not taking back my Eddie Nketiah number 14 shirt. Shouldn't have got it. Statement. I've put it out there. I'm loud and I'm proud. And if you don't like it, I don't care.
Apparently, everyone says they want 100 million euros for him. Is he worth 2 Thomas Parteys? Not on today's form. He's not.
No, he's not.
And Mr. Bob Lex, that Anthony needs a good sliding tackle and stop that shit.
Yeah, that's why I'm. What happened to Richarlison when he got taken out by the Forest player, the number 20, whatever his name is. I'm fine with people showboating. You can do that, but you've got to be able to give it and take it. And
there's a downside.
I'm fine with Anthony doing his little spinny little thing on the floor, and then he just gets fucking 2-footed. That's what it is, I guess.
Mr. Waffles says ostriches don't bury their heads; they're aggressively territorial. He'll smash you like Jeff Jarrett with his guitar if you
Well, it's just like, people think the mice eat cheese. Cats love cheese more than mice. And cats are lactose intolerant, so they can't drink milk. Not everything you watch on telly is correct.
Pirate says we need to chat about the number 14 thing over a pint and a mushroom. I do love mushrooms.
I'm good with that, man. I'm happy to do a portobello or something. That sounds good to me.
I don't like mushrooms when they're too big. That's when they start to worry me. No. Right, we've got a first question here from Brent Blumberg, which is a name I've not seen before. Hello, Brent.
Hello, Brent.
It's nice of you to be here. If you do like this shenanigans, feel free to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, but we will send you a bill for £1,000 a month. But you can like my
costs you a part of
bill.
your soul. It costs you a part of your soul.
You can just ignore it, like I'm doing my electricity bill. Best part of $7,000 at the moment. They can go fuck themselves. Brent says, how many players should we go out and get in the January transfer period? That's a good question. I think we definitely need a striker. And we need someone to cover for Partey. Oh, what's the third one? He's holding three fingers up.
I think we need an out-and-out striker. I don't feel like we need to keep bringing in these winger striker options. A winger, centre mid, and a striker. Out-and-out striker. Someone who plays striker as like a full-time career, not someone who can play across the front four. We need that option, someone different to come off the bench or whatever that can come and offer something a little bit different from everybody else. That's the dream world. We won't get that, but that's the dream world.
We have got we've got sad news. We on Tuesday we lost 1,384 Twitch followers, and then on Thursday we lost 263. So whoever paid for those 1,670 Twitch subscribers, whatever money you paid for that was an absolute waste of time. We were on 294. We're now on 308. So whoever bought them, thank you very much, but don't do it again because it's utterly pointless.
Did you say 1,000?
Yeah, they bought us 1,670 subscribers.
Followers.
Yeah.
The subscribers. I was like, you're making some bank. What's going on here?
We get £50 every 6 months from Twitch. So we're very happy with that. And we get about 50 quid every 3 months from YouTube at the moment, which is nice.
YouTube's the platform to go. Twitch is a dying platform. It's become even more restrictive. It's a platform with a lot of biases. Not a fan of the platform, and this is coming from a guy that streamed on it from late 2015, early 2016, all the way through up until a couple of years ago, and was religiously streaming, and I did very well on it for a period of time. 100 concurrent viewers at some points, and I really dislike Twitch. 100%. I really dislike Twitch. YouTube is the place to be, and it will be for the foreseeable future. And it's only going to take more and more ground off Twitch, and I'm very happy to see that.
And there's time right for someone else to nip in there with a new idea. So
that's the dream. That's the dream.
Elon, get in there, son.
Oh, please don't. Oh, Christ, that'd be amazing. That'd be
so no rules.
Good. That'd be so good. Oh my God, that would be so good.
He can set one up, and on his first day, he can bring in a bath and a shower head and complete the collect and a cooker.
I love that tweet.
Nonsense.
Let that sink in.
Phil Macker has said, bearing in mind Saka plays all the time, which 54 consecutive Premier League games, what is our plan B if we are without him, as Vieira down the right does not work? It certainly doesn't. What do you think?
Well, luckily, Nelson hit the ground running today. And that's exactly what you need to do with your opportunities. And now a lot of people that are maybe defending Eddie Nketiah, and I'm not having a massive onslaught, but I'm just using him as a potential example. He's a guy that obviously needs games to get going, but we don't have that luxury when it comes to this sort of situation. And Nelson got his opportunity. He didn't grab it by the scruff of the neck. He fucking got it and threw it across the fucking room. Stunning stuff from him. And that's basically our options. Marquinhos, Vieira and Nelson, all players that we would love an upgrade on. And that's the reason why I said to go for 3 in the January transfer. But who knows what happens?
Yes, I've got another question here from formerly knows. Said he's going to teach me Japanese. That'd be good. Not to write it. That's bloody impossible.
Sorry, somebody said about the Twitch not having any. YouTube not having any discoverability. You're completely right. Hopefully they address that sooner rather than later. But you are right. But it's pretty much impossible now to get noticed on Twitch. You need some real luck. Obviously, I got a little bit of luck back then, but you need some fucking dumb, stupid luck now to get any sort of viewership, consistent viewership anyway.
True. So Noza says, will we see Mohamed assist Jesus before the end of the season? Might be just in time for Jesus' birthday. Other than that,
yeah, I like it. Who knows?
Mo isn't an assister, really, is he? He's got a few Thunder Bastards in him.
He's got more. He scored Thunder Bastards before Partey scored Thunder Bastards.
Yes, and Xhaka
he was the original Thunder Bastard.
He was, and we all love him. As always, whenever we talk about Sir Mo of Elneny, we have the Elneny Wonderland background. We have 142 Mo Elnenys there. You beautiful bastard with your lovely hair. Bless him.
That's a top 4 team right there. That's a top 4 team.
You would win the World Cup with that. Mr. Bob Lex asks, would you keep Nelson in the 11 for Thursday? That is at home to FC Zurich. Or would you?
I don't see why not.
Take it he's saying and not play him because we're going to need him against Chelsea if Saka's out.
Yeah, sure. It depends on the Saka situation. I hope that it is just a little bit of ligament damage just from the kick, and hopefully he gets over it and he's able to play for Arsenal against Chelsea. But yeah, if everything goes to plan, Nelson obviously coming in for Thursday would be the ideal outcome.
Crimson Pirate asks, what if Edo is poached? Is a CEO important? He won't be poached. Chris knows about
he's not going to leave.
A few things. There's no way that he is
going
to go
beautiful.
to PSG.
A bit of ITK. I like that.
It's a clusterfuck of a club. And then final question, because we're going to be done in the next 45 seconds. Phil Macker, can Deacon turn any question into a negative about Eddie? Is that a skill you possess?
See, the thing is, right, I've taken this entire podcast to be able to have discussions. So I've had maybe an hour. So I've had like a couple of games of pre-warm up to be able to get warm enough to be able to have this discussion. See, Eddie Nketiah, he'd need about 6 or 7 podcasts to be able to develop a good opinion about that answer, I feel. So there we go. And we don't have that luxury. We don't have that time. We don't have that luxury. We've got things to do. We've got people to be and places to be and people to see.
Indeed. Avon is a bit of a hipster when it comes to foreign players. I'll just leave these names here for no particular reason. Ferran Torres, Ismail Benacer, who was ex-Arsenal, now AC Milan and doing stuff. Edmond Tapioca and Danilo. I think Danilo has already been linked to as a defensive midfielder playing in Brazil, but I like the idea of Mr. Tapioca. That would be an interesting one. Kayan Jackson is there. Big up yourself, Jamaican in the house. Where have you been, Kayan? I haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're well. And Rudy says Saka and Xhaka won't play on Thursday. Xhaka is being banned. Saka gets a rest.
Yeah, that's the ideal outcome.
And Crimson will end it on those fine words. Okay, good game. Good chat. Love the arse with a, I don't know if that's a chicken, a turkey, or someone's a bottom. So there you go. We're going to go.
Chicken.
We've got 60 people watching on 57 on YouTube, 4 on Twitch. I think the people on Twitter don't really watch that much. There's none. That was up to about 27 at one point, which is lovely. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. Deac, thank you very much for your time. Where can people find you if they like the cut your jib or just fancy an argument about nothing?
If you want to have a discussion or an argument or a civil discourse on Daddy Elon's platform, it's right here. Just Deacon Justified, DeaconJustified. And as always, follow me at your own peril because I'm extremely political.
Yeah, so Mr. Waffles, please do not follow him because YouTube will not get on at all. And if Steve was alive, I'd say Steve wouldn't follow. If Steve would follow you just to argue with you.
Who's that? Who's Steve?
Steve Lord Hillwood. He invented ABW with me.
Oh, I didn't know if you meant Goonaholic or something like that. Because Goonaholic follows me. Goonaholic follows me still. Obviously, rest in peace and stuff. But
indeed.
Yeah, but he follows me. So I don't know if that's who you were, because I never knew his real name.
It was David Faber.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was it. That's it.
Lovely. In fact, while we're talking about them, I always have their pictures ready. There is Steve in the top right-hand corner. Loved a bit of cartfishing, you wonderful man. And Dave, Mr. Goonaholic,
yeah, that's him.
In the pub. Look, always smiling. I miss those two.
Brilliant guy.
Too much. But who I don't miss is Ellis. Hashtag fuck Ellis.
Fucking. So, that's an Arsenal with a blood reject right there.
Foot Gaming is there. Hello, Foot Gaming. Danny and Deacon. Any of you play Ultimate Team? Yes, all I ever played when I played FIFA, but I stopped playing.
I was a Pro Clubs guy. I even at some point during my Twitch career took over Troy's the professional.
Side.
Yeah. The professional pro clubs team. I was the manager. Never do it again. That was the biggest headache of ever, to run a professional pro clubs team. Biggest ball ache. Yeah. But there I digress. I was a pro clubs guy over Ultimate Team.
We're going to end the show on a few hashtags. Formerly Noza, hashtag Carpenter out. Mr. Boblex, hashtag fuck Ellis. And finally, Mr. Boblex, hashtag Carpenter out. Lovely. Right, people, thank you very much for watching. If you are new, feel free to give it a subscribe, maybe give it a thumbs up, maybe get this YouTube URL, stick it in an email and spam it to everybody that is on your work company email address. That would be great. And that is it. If you like what you see,
put the subject as boobs.
Yeah.
That will get their attention.
And SFFWWF.
Or
yes,
NSFW,
indeed.
Not safe for work. Really get their attention.
Well, like Mr. Waffle says, hit like, you freeloading scumbags.
Hit free like loaders.
All right, there we go. Talking about Dave and Holly, we're going to end on an outro with those two with some of their stuff that wasn't actually on podcasts. So thank you very much, everybody, and we will see you on probably Tuesday for a podcast. Until then, be lucky.
As soon as I scored that goal, I was fucking livid. Get down, dog. Splendid business. He nearly caught the bloody thing. What are you talking about?
So I was just eating a full quiche. Well, you don't often see them at it. So when you see them in the supermarket, they need to be swagged, microwaved immediately, and get the brown sauce on and bosh, Bob's your uncle.
Never in doubt.